Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're here in South Central Ireland in the river Araglin. It is a part or a tributary that goes into the Black Water, which is a very, very famous stretch of river here in this area. Now the rain's been around, they had a big summer this year, and unfortunately heat wave, and then all the rains come all at once, so the Black River is a little bit too dirty. So we've got this wonderful stretch that we're going to be doing today, and we're going to be doing some wild brown trout fishing, and through the day we'll go through all sorts of techniques and tactics that are going to make your day on the water work for you. At least I'm going to pass on some of the knowledge that I have gained over the years fly fishing for brown trout. So stay with us. We're going through. I've got a friend of mine from the United States who's going to be fishing with me today, and she's actually relatively new to fly fishing, and we've been going through the bits and pieces that are required to get her to the next level, but most certainly to work out the stretch of water. It is a completely new ball game for me because we're down in Oz, right? And I did get the right cap, man. Have a look at the cap over there. It's a bloody long way. So I've come all the way from Sydney, Australia, all the way out here to do this fishing deal. We've got a beautiful river. We're going to be going a K or two up the river, wading through. Full battle gear for the gig. So it's all wading all the way up, and very little opportunity to get onto a bank. So we'll take you up the river. I've got the chest cam here. We're going to go and have some fun. Let's go, man. See you on the water. Yeah. All right, that's Laura, everybody. Right, Laura, what we're going to do is this. We're going to be moving up the river here, and everything's flowing towards us right now. Okay, it's shallow in areas. There's some nice drop-offs, but the fish will generally set up in this. I've seen 2 fish come up to the surface. So what we've got to do is we've got our length in front of us, okay, and then we've got to work the fly back just slowly. The strike indicator does not need to be influenced. Just let it come with that flow. Then put it back on there again, let it flow. So you're going to sort of cast in front, just moving it across, and then we'll move up. We'll do it together, and then we'll move up. I'm going to work on some of the trickier stuff around the corner here under the trees and so on. I'm going to try and see if there's any trout on that. Okay, and as we get our rhythm, hopefully we'll be able to get some good catches. So we've got to be careful of the bridge behind us, but this is where we're going right here. So most people are going to think that you need to go for big casts. You don't. You're behind the fish are looking upstream, and so if you can get a general cast like that, if it's going to go out towards the trees, you can get a general cast like that just underneath the trees. I like to do a couple of roll casts, just put it out there and then just kind of feather it underneath the trees and get it to run. And I mean, that's not exactly that far out there. You don't need a giant cast to catch trout. The idea with it is they're sitting out there and they're looking upstream, which is directly in front of us, and they're sitting behind objects waiting for food to come to them. Now the best thing to do is to start at the bottom of the food chain. So I'm using a dropper fly because I want to simulate the bottom of the food chain, which is small little nymphs and little aquatic creatures that are at their beginning stages. Now it is late season September, so it's not like it's spring here in Ireland. So yeah, we've got to keep them small for now, see if they bite and start adapting as we go. That's the deal. And as we fished an area like this, we definitely know that we've got every cast in, then we'll move out to the next stage. So there you go, that's the risk of casting under trees, is when you catch one like that. So slowly upstream, and I'll fish the next section now. But I pretty much fished this area here, so that was good. Right, just sighted some up ahead. And they're taking off the top water, so I'm just going to try and see if I can get a cast up 2 in here, and just see if we can get any luck with a nymph. It's kind of shallow though, and I am using a strike indicator. I'm just going to move up and see if I can get a bite, get one of these fish to bite. Right, already we're onto our first change up, and what have we learnt in the first 50 meters of the stream? Well, seen fish, which is good, and I've seen them taking on the top. So, and I've seen them taking in the shallow water rather than the deep water. So we're going to have to make a change, because we were using strike indicators and so on, which are good. But for this particular application, we may need to have a top water fly. I'm going to use this little parachute that I built up yesterday, and I'll drop a nymph off the end of it. So that's what we need to do. We need to change up, because we haven't had any fish active yet on the nymphs. So we now need to adapt a little bit and start trying to match the hatch, as they call it. And that's what we're going to be doing right now. Right, here we go again. Alright guys, so this is how we do it. We've got the stream coming towards us. We're looking at fish in about 10-15 centimeters of water. So I've got a parachute and a dropper fly. We just had our first take coming down the river, and this is the way you would want to do it if you're fishing. You just tether it back. You don't want it to influence the fly at all. Alright, you can send the fly back up. Now this is what we call a roll cast. I can roll cast it out straight and then lift and then put it down, because there's trees above me, so I have to be really sharp with my casts. Make sure I don't get them in the trees or caught on anything, and keep delivering the fly at about that length. If that fly stops or it goes under, because the line, your nymph line, is only 15 centimeters, you're able to know that that's definitely a fish. So nice cast up the water like that. Laura's going to give it a turn now and work that water in front of us. So that's just a bit of casting, getting it up there, and the fly comes back to me. And as it comes past, I'll show you, there's a mayfly hatch actually going on right now. And as this comes past, you'll get to see how there's the fly and there's the nymph right behind it. See that? Right, so Laura's just going out here. We've seen some fish up in the water in front of us over here, and she's been working on a casting to try and get it out there. It's a little tricky because there's a bit of wind, but they're definitely taking on the top water just in front of us here. We've got the right flies in. Now we just got to get the fly to the fish. There's a top water bite going on at the minute, so we're just going to have to work that. There we go, nice, nice, nice. Right, everybody, check it out. So this is a mayfly. This is a little mayfly. This is what they're after. Little mayfly on the water. There you go. You can see how the wings stick up on the mayfly. That's what we're trying to imitate. So one thing I like to do is, this is actually a very good dry fly today. It resembles the mayfly, has a little bit of heckle as a parachute formation around it, and it has that little wing that comes up, which is extremely important. That is also your strike indicator. And then I've dropped it off with this little nymph. So there's two cycles here. There's the nymph in the water before it's hatched, and then there is the mayfly when it has hatched. So I'm running the two. I've got to keep this one down, so it's always handy to have yourself some floatants and some sinkants. There they are. So you've got your dry flies and you've got your wet flies. So your dry fly, you put it on, it keeps your dry fly right. I need a little bit of wet to keep my nymph under because I'm not using a weight on it. So I'll put it on my finger like that. Okay, I'll just take my little dry fly, sorry, my little wet fly, and I'll just wet it with that stuff and the line. So the line goes straight underneath the water. So that will float and that will now sink. Or at least that's the idea. Seen some nice little some nice little takes here. And I'm just trying to get it in that water and get the nymph underneath. Nothing yet coming to mind, although I've seen a lot of fish surface to take a fly that's just hit the water. So a dropper fly, in other words. So just working this little chute here in front. And let it come down. There it comes past now. I don't know if you can see it. Let it come down. It looks to me like the fish are quite used to activity on the water, which is interesting because usually brown trout are so tough. But anyways, we're still working on our first bite here. I had one earlier on, but I haven't managed to land anything yet. Working on it. So hey guys, man, fishing up the stream here, we're getting some really good action, man. You know, starting to get the bites on the top water. They're biting funny, they're sort of just nudging it, you know, and I said I'm using a dropper fly of about 20 centimeters just behind, and that's where I've been getting the fish to take. But they are hitting the top water now. I don't know if I should strike those as they hit them, which I'm going to start trying to do. I have been trying to pull it away from the fish a little bit, and for some reason they just are biting short. So but lots more action, and that's what it's all about. Now, beautiful rapids up ahead there. This pool is just full of trout, which is really, really cool. And we're going to be working up this section, and I see them breaking all the time. You know, they're there. There's a whole bunch of them. So it's just a matter of time, and hopefully we can get this action for you right now. Let's go, man. Let's get some. All right, there we go. It was only a matter of time. It was only a matter of time. I got a nice little brownie. There we go. Sort of getting on that pattern. So what's interesting here is it looks like I hit the dropper fly. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, fight pretty hard. Fight pretty hard. Okay. Now the net that I have, special gelatine net, lovely silicone, doesn't harm the fish. And they can bring the fish and you can have a look. And as you can see, which is really cool, is the fact that I have the parachute and then the dropper fly over at the end. And that's what's taken right at the mouth. Can you see that? And that's a good hook set right on the top. So there's a lovely little brownie. Love it. Beautiful. And the day begins. So always wet your hand before you handle a fish. Wet your hand. Grab the fish nicely. They're very slimy little things. If you wet your hand, you don't kill them. And there you go, the flies come out. Beautiful little fish. Lovely colours, look at that. Stunning. And that just makes your day when you catch one of those. So catch and release only, into the current, and just let it go. And off it goes. Thank you, fish. There it is, sitting on the bottom beautifully. Stunning. And that's what we're here for. Wow. Right, well, now we're coming up to this next section. I'm just standing here with Laura, who's working with me here on the stream today. And just looking up ahead there, there's a very nice whitewater rapid, but there's also two breaks, and we're going to try and fish both of those breaks. I'm going to take the one on the left-hand side, and I'm going to fish up into that sort of water. The other one's just slightly calmer, but it gives you a nice line so you can get your casting. And then we're going to try and work that. Now we can see the fish still breaking, and there's a hatch. It's on and then it's off, and then it's on, then it's off, but it's there. Nice and sunny today for Ireland. Extremely beautiful. If you have a look down the lake and you just look at that and the beautiful sunshine today, It's just a stunning day. You know, yesterday was just absolutely pouring, and this is why the streams are have filled up again. You know, apparently they were really down, and they've come back up again. So this is what we're going to do right now. How's your experience so far today, Laura?
It's been great. It's been really good. I haven't caught a fish yet, but
Getting the casting going. We did a
trying to
little bit
get
of
that casting
casting.
going.
Yeah, we did some
It's
casting.
difficult.
So Laura's doing pretty well with that, and she wants to work some water in the Gunpowder River in the United States. And we need to just get that casting going to get that extra length and get the confidence of it. So we did some practice. We went to a trout farm, and you know, like anybody, we're learning these fish because we haven't actually had any experience on this water before. So we're sort of getting out there and giving it a go, and just hoping that we can sort of get some bites. So that's what we're after. You just got to get that length on your cast, that little extra length, and that's why you're going to take that break on that right hand side there, because that break on the right is definitely workable, and we don't want to get too close to those fish. We want to get enough. We want to get at least that same one we practiced. So that's what we're after. Let's go, guys. Beautiful day out, man. It's just stunning to be in. What an honor to be out here in this beautiful part of the world, Ireland, fishing this wonderful stream and just enjoying such a brilliant day out. So it's just absolutely fabulous. Let's go. Catch up to it, 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 catch up to it. There we go. I'm on it. Alright, some beautiful little brownies. Again, just a very good take. Beautiful. Alright, I've just had 2 takes in a row. Look at that, beautiful, beautiful. Wild trout, and this time they're starting to take, as you can see on the top there, on the top fly. They didn't take the dropper that time. Stunning, beautiful, and starting to get on a bit of a rhythm now, which is great for the camera, so we'll keep that going. But yeah, let's just get this out. So again, wet your hands when you handle a trout. Wet your hands, and then get the trout so that it doesn't take all the slime off the fish and doesn't kill the fish. Right, there we go. Beautiful brownie. Look, he took it right on the side, on top of the lip. He's not that happy with me. Catch and release, barbless hooks. Beautiful. I'm going to put him back in the water now. I'm just going to put him back in, nice and easy, and off he goes. So, end of our first session, day 1, beautiful weather outside. Thought we would take a little bit of a break and discuss what we want to do, possibly an evening session, or come out tomorrow morning and really go for it. Now, the cool thing about it was the fact that we actually had no idea what these fish were going to do. And it's a completely different continent that I'm used to fishing on, and but you know, sticking to the basics, managed to find the right recipe for the fish today. And although, look, they're not the biggest fish on the planet, Ireland is known for that. You know, lots of up to a pound size brown trout, but that's great. But we did get onto 2 patterns today, and definitely good mayfly hatch. The weather's beautiful. It's nice and warm today. And so there was a lot of activity on the top water, and following that up, small nymphing as well seemed to work. We tried a little bit of strip retrieve back down. As we came back down, it wasn't that successful, but there's always tomorrow. Now, possibly a little bit further up tomorrow, knowing now what we've done today is obviously going to give us that advantage for tomorrow, so we can go out and get straight on those fish. The whole time we're on the water today, we did see a lot of surface breaks, a lot of activity, and fish actually quite close to us. So there's definitely fish out there. That's one, always, to know that there's fish in the water. 2, got to tie up tonight. I'll share some ideas with you while I'm doing that. Tie up some flies, get those right, and come up early tomorrow. And we got up to a certain point today going upstream, and sort of maybe tomorrow repeat that, but also get a little bit further up, get a little earlier depending on the weather. Of course, Ireland, as you know, can it can be beautiful the one day and absolutely terrible the next. So hopefully we get the same conditions, but it is beautiful. And so we're sitting down, we're having ourselves a nice healthy salad and fruit lunch with some beautiful sparkling water and just enjoying this beautiful weather here in Ireland. What a pleasure to be out here. And tomorrow we'll get back at it and we'll get on those fish. So catch you then. It's been a great day out so far, great learning day. I must admit I got a lot of fish taking the lures, but the flies, but just couldn't get them to commit. So good day. We're going to get out tomorrow and we're going to get on them. See you then. Hey, morning everybody. How we doing? Just doing some finishing touches to get back out in the water. A couple of flies just to get us out there. We had a few little takes yesterday, and of course we need to just repair a couple of flies and a few heckles that have come loose and so on. Parachute flies are on the menu today. We're going to give them a go. The water is pretty much the same as yesterday. The weather is not. So we have less sun today. We have more of a overcast day, possibly maybe some showers, which may affect the hatch quite a bit. So trying to match it up right now. We're going to get back on the water just now. Hopefully having a good day today. Learned a lot yesterday. So hopefully we can get a lot of good footage on the cam today. See you on the water. Let's go. So that I can use it. So just tying up a parachute fly right now. Just working the heckle around the indicator, strike indicator. And that little indicator there has got the wings straight up. And that's exactly how a mayfly sits on the water when it hatches. Those wings come straight up. So this was a fly we were using yesterday and just needed some repair work because what happens is the trout, they have got small teeth and unfortunately they tend to just break some of the heckles. So we're just making some stream side adjustments right now. Very, very nice, keeping those flies active for the day so that we can get those takes. I'm almost convinced that we'll get those nice top water takes again today. So those flies that were working yesterday obviously would be quite valuable today because they were getting action then. So I don't see how everything's going to change in one day. So that gives us a little bit of an advantage going today. Bear in mind that we're starting the day with a bit of knowledge. So that's great. So we'll keep on at it today. There it is. Beautiful little fly. And that's what they call a parachute fly. So if you have a look at that fly there, they've got, you're always using the cockerel feathers for your heckles that go around. And it's built on a parachute system, like a parachute going down. And the strike indicator is there. And you can actually drop a fly off the back of that. That's what I'm doing today with these type of flies. So you can have the top water version of the mayfly hatch, and then you've also got the nymph version of the mayfly hatch in the water. So the two come past, they can choose one or the other. That's the beauty about a parachute fly. Anyways, time to get back in the water. Let's go. Right, just talking about the conditions today. It looks really good. We've got lots of little mayflies in there flying around. We've got a lot of midges in the air. Not too sure if they have stoneflies in that, but I know there's a lot of little caddis larvae in that. The rocks we got, I mean, they're all sort of shale rocks, sort of rounded type rocks. Lots of that, pretty much through. No sand. It's all this. And what the fish will do is they'll sit behind some of these breaks, some of the bigger rocks, and they will use that as a break and just sort of hang there. We're going to start with this bridge over here. We're going to start fishing up. We started here yesterday, and since now we know what the water is, we know there's some nice drops just by this bridge. Haven't seen much surface rising yet, so as I said, day's so much different, and we've got overcast conditions. I'm hoping it's not going to rain. I don't think it is, but really a good day. Get out there. We're going to go upstream again, and we're going to get it done. Let's go, yo. So Laura, what do you think today, man? Day 2, we're out here. It's looking good. Water's come down a little bit. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that we're going to catch some fish today.
That's a good plan. I like that. I like that. So just looking around, there's some mayflies in the air. There's a lot of little midgies flying around, and looks pretty solid. Looks pretty solid. I hope we get a good day out. So today I tied up a parachute fly, a little bit better colored for the mayflies that are flying around, which is their main food by the looks of it. And I'm dropping that off with a little peacock hurl fly, and that's dropped about 20 centimeters behind the front fly. So just roll casting underneath this bridge right now. I saw some fish here. It's quite tricky, so roll casting is the only way you're going to get here, and just putting it in that stream up, that little chute up ahead, being very mindful not to whack the rod against the side of the bridge, which is, again, just roll casting up. I've got a few little fish just sitting there nicely just up ahead. I'm just sneaking on them at the minute, and I'm having to use a roll cast because I'm sitting with the bridge behind me, but I've got a nice little length here, and if I work it enough I should get something going. I've got a few of them breaking nicely in the water in front of me here, and I'm trying to imitate that dropping mayfly onto the water. There's plenty of fish up here, so it's just a matter of working that water and bringing that fly past. So I got a good feeling here. Right, just working the chute out in front of us here. Some prospects, definitely. Lots of flies falling onto the water, lots of mayflies and so on. So we're just working this area now, just letting it come down. Definitely found out that the fish are closer together than we thought they were, and it's just a matter of getting the fly in the right place at the right time, and then they come up and they take it. So had a few good takes, and hopefully we can land one. So I literally did this, Laura. Flipped it in there like that, and he took it off the top. Just like that. Took it right by me. There you go. Got him. Beautiful. There he is again, just right by my feet. And took it. That's it. Right. Okay, this one's coming out of the water a little bit. They're not massive, so wet my hands. Right, guys, so there it is. You know, this is a typical Irish brown trout. Beautiful little specimen. And taking on the top water flies at the minute, so that's really cool. Don't want to keep him out too long. It's all catch and release, and he's going to go anyways. There he goes. And I'm just going to help him on his way. Yeah, he's good. Off he goes. He's good to go. Very cool. We'll keep on at it. So one of my best shoots of yesterday, just right up ahead of us now, as it comes through that little gully there. And yeah, all the way up is a nice shoot as we work on our way up there. So that should be very, very good. And there's a bit of activity around, so we're going to work this up to the next rapids, and we should get some action. Right, ladies and gentlemen, ooh, working hard, found a great spot, and this is the result. I've changed completely to dry flying now because they really are hitting the top. And they all said that a good fish in Ireland was a pound. So I'll let you be the judge of that. But that one looks to me like it's a slightly better fish. And that one has taken, still quite lively. That one has taken a fly. And I'll show you. Again, using a nice gel net. You see the gel net? Make sure that the trout, wetting my hand beforehand so that the trout doesn't get damaged. And that net will make sure that it happens. But have a look at that. Isn't that amazing? Right there. Beautiful in the side. And shouldn't be dropping them. But anyways. Just going to get that out. There you go. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what we came to Ireland for. Some beautiful browns. Beautiful fish. Catch and release. I'm going to release it properly this time. Always upstream by the tail. Oh, that one's off just like that. Yes, there it is. So some really good action starting, and in my opinion, that's not a bad size trout at all. I think that's pretty decent for a river like this. But we've got on them now, and yeah, I stopped the dropper fly and I went straight on to just using a dry fly, one that I tied up possibly a couple of years ago actually. And this is a gimme in the river. So beautiful little fly. It's a grizzlecock dry fly, and it is working right now. So loving it. Let's keep on at it. Yeah. Man, these guys are taking this fly. There we go. Got him. See that one? Got him. He's coming to me quick. He's coming to me quick. There we go. Yep, it's on. There she is. That little one. Alright, wet the hand. Grab the fish. Beautiful. Look at the take. I'm using a little grizzlecock dry fly at the minute, but there it is. There we go, one again. There it is. All right. There's another one, nice one. Dry fly Adams. There you go. See how I took it straight in the mouth? Beautiful. There you go. Another beautiful brown trout. And release it on its way. There they go. They're right here. They're chasing that down. They're literally around our feet. There you go. Oh, see them, Laura?
Where are they?
It's good taken. Watch, 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 watch. So I've got them just up ahead. They're around our feet. There you go. See? There you go. Nice one, this one. Coming in nicely. So yeah, almost cast for cast now. Found a new spot upstream and really getting some good action. Some nice sizes too. Beautiful. There you go. Looking inside the net. Spreading the hand. Lovely again. Parachute dry. It's an Adams, that one. Well, everybody in around the world and in the United States, Laura, Eddie, hanging out and doing what the Irish do in the lakes, in the streams, and attempting to catch trout, right?
Attempting.
Attempting. But that's what it's all
Some
about.
catch, some haven't yet.
But, you know,
It's coming.
the big thing for us too is just like the moment that we're having. You know, we just had a little flask of whiskey. We're hanging out in this beautiful place. I mean, it's, you know, we're blessed because, I mean, the weather here can be absolutely ridiculous, you know. And we're out here, we're seeing fish up ahead. Laura's starting to get her thing together, right? So
Yeah, it's starting to get the rhythm.
we
starting
gotta
to get the
we gotta
feel.
get that. Look at that one right in front of us here. And you know, we're getting there. You know, accommodation is somewhat not as great as we were hoping, but hey, listen, we're doing it. It's very expensive for what you get. It's not the United States,
They
most
do
certainly.
things small here, not
Yeah,
large.
yeah. So, I don't know if you guys can see it with the sun in the back, but this is what we got. Myself and Laura, this is where we are. We're just sitting here and we're just lavishing this wonderful, beautiful place.
Beautiful. Yeah, look at that.
You know, and we can fish in our countries, but this is Ireland, and that's what makes it so special. You know, it's just like the birds, listening to robins in the trees and stuff. Like you don't get those in other parts of the world, and we really are having a good time now. It's really cool. So everyone back home,
Having a blast.
having a blast. All right, yeah, we're doing good. We'll catch you on the far side. Yo. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there it is, day 2. And what a great day out there today. We found some better fish. And although, you know, tricky region to fish, there's a lot of trees, there's a lot of very difficult water, but we found a style that worked. And that was what's important here today. And, you know, from here, hopefully we get some rainbow trout tomorrow. We're going to go out to get some lake fish. If we do, we do. If we don't, we don't. If the weather stays like this, it's going to be absolutely amazing. So we've got a few places in mind. Go get some rainbow trout tomorrow. But this has been absolutely a spectacle. It's been beautiful. We've had 2 unbelievable days of wild, Irish wild brown fishing. So this is just an amazing, amazing place. Love the bridge behind us. Really gives you that feel of being here in Ireland, and just couldn't be happier. What a great day out, and Laura did really well. You know, she's learning to fish, and so she got a lot of her skill there. She got a few takes. Still has to get that fish on. So we're going to try tomorrow to get those. But what a great day! Just enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the water hopefully tomorrow. We'll be moving out towards the lake systems. See you then, man.